Let's get right into it. Number 5, the complete brain map breakthrough. Scientists just pulled off something that sounds like pure science fiction. They mapped every single neuron in an adult brain, all 140,000 of them, along with over 50 million connections between those neurons. We're talking about a fruit fly brain here, but don't let that fool you. This tiny brain shares 75% of the genes that cause human diseases. Think of it like creating the ultimate GPS system for a brain. Every street, every alley, every connection mapped out in perfect detail. The process was absolutely insane. Researchers spent over a decade on this project. They took a brain the size of a poppy seed, froze it solid, then sliced it into 7,000 paper-thin layers. Each slice was thinner than human hair. Then they photographed every single slice with the most powerful microscopes on Earth, creating 21 million high-resolution images. But here's where it gets wild. Artificial intelligence tried to piece together this massive 3D puzzle, but the AI kept making mistakes. So they recruited hundreds of volunteers from around the world to manually correct the errors by hand. These citizen scientists spent years proofreading neurons one by one. What they discovered completely changed how we think about brains. They found a region called the subesophageal zone that basically acts like the brain's central hub. This tiny area connects to almost every other part of the brain, receiving massive amounts of incoming signals and sending out commands to motor neurons. It's like finding the main control room in a city that nobody knew existed. This breakthrough is already helping researchers understand how brains control movement, vision, and behavior. And since fruit flies share so much DNA with humans, this map could unlock secrets about human brain diseases. If you're fascinated by scientific breakthroughs like this, make sure to subscribe because I'll be covering more mind-blowing discoveries that are reshaping our understanding of the world. Number 4, the 6-month HIV shield. A new drug called lenacapavir just achieved something that seemed impossible. In clinical trials involving over 5,000 people, this drug showed 100% effectiveness at preventing HIV infections. Not 95%, not 99%, but literally 100%. That's unheard of in medical research. Most drugs are considered successful if they work 70% of the time. The game changer here is how it works and how often you need it. Instead of taking daily pills like current HIV prevention methods, you get just 2 injections per year. That's it, 6 months of protection from 2 shots. The science behind this drug is fascinating. HIV has this protective shell called a capsid that shields the virus's genetic material. Think of it like armor protecting the virus's vital organs. Lenacapavir doesn't just attack this armor, it makes it completely rigid and useless. The virus literally can't function anymore. Even if HIV somehow manages to sneak into a cell, the drug stiffens any new virus particles before they can spread. It's like jamming the gears of a machine so thoroughly that it can never work again. This represents nearly 20 years of research finally paying off. Scientists had to understand the exact structure of HIV's capsid protein before they could design a drug to target it. The implications are staggering. We're looking at a potential end to new HIV infections if this drug becomes widely available. The World Health Organization is already calling it a potential game changer in the global fight against AIDS. Number 3, the most distant galaxy ever found. Astronomers just spotted a galaxy that existed only 290 million years after the Big Bang. To put that in perspective, if the universe's entire history was compressed into a single year, this galaxy would have appeared on January 8th. The galaxy, called JADES GS Z14-0, is so far away that its light has been traveling toward us for over 13 billion years. When we look at this galaxy, we're literally seeing the universe as a baby. But here's what's blowing scientists' minds. This galaxy is absolutely massive and incredibly bright. It stretches over 1,600 light years across and contains hundreds of millions of times more mass than our sun. The problem is, according to our current understanding of physics, galaxies this large shouldn't have been able to form so quickly after the Big Bang. It's like finding a fully grown oak tree in a forest that was planted yesterday. The galaxy is pumping out starlight at an incredible rate, powered entirely by young, massive stars rather than a supermassive black hole. What makes this even more mysterious is that scientists found oxygen in this ancient galaxy. Oxygen only forms when massive stars live their entire lives and then explode. Finding oxygen this early means multiple generations of stars had already been born, lived, and died in less than 300 million years after the universe began. That's like speed-running billions of years of stellar evolution. This discovery is forcing astronomers to completely rewrite their theories about how the early universe worked. Galaxies weren't supposed to grow this big, this fast. The James Webb Space Telescope keeps finding these ancient giants, and each one makes the mystery deeper. We're basically watching the universe's baby photos and discovering it was way more advanced than we thought possible. Number 2, the impossible drug that targets the untargetable. For decades, scientists have been frustrated by a group of proteins they called undruggable. These proteins cause some of the deadliest diseases, including certain cancers and neurodegenerative disorders, but they seemed impossible to attack with traditional medicines. Their shapes were too weird, their surfaces too smooth, or they changed too quickly for drugs to lock onto them. But 2024 became the year researchers finally cracked this code. Using a revolutionary approach called targeted protein degradation, scientists figured out how to essentially hijack the cell's own garbage disposal system. Instead of trying to block these problem proteins directly, they're tagging them for destruction. It's like putting a target on someone's back and letting the cell's natural cleanup crew do the dirty work. The breakthrough came from understanding something called PROTACs, which stands for proteolysis targeting chimeras. These molecular machines work like tiny matchmakers, bringing together the problem protein and the cell's destruction machinery. Once they meet, the protein gets chopped up and recycled. What makes this approach so powerful is that one PROTAC molecule can destroy hundreds of target proteins before it gets used up. This isn't just theoretical anymore. Multiple drugs using this approach are showing incredible results in clinical trials against previously untreatable cancers. We're talking about diseases that had no good treatment options suddenly becoming manageable. The implications go way beyond cancer too. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other devastating conditions might finally have new treatment pathways. Number 1, the cosmic mystery that rewrote physics. Scientists just solved one of the biggest puzzles in modern physics by discovering what's been hiding in the spaces between galaxies. For years, astronomers knew that about half of all the normal matter in the universe was missing. They could calculate how much should exist based on the Big Bang, but when they looked around, they could only find about half of it. The missing matter wasn't dark matter or dark energy. This was regular stuff made of protons and neutrons that somehow vanished from our observations. It was like losing half the ingredients for a recipe and having no idea where they went. Scientists called it the missing baryon problem, and it was driving cosmologists crazy. The answer turned out to be hiding in the cosmic web, ultra-thin filaments of hot gas that connect galaxies across billions of light years. This gas is so spread out and so hot that it barely interacts with light, making it nearly invisible to our telescopes. But new detection methods finally spotted it, revealing vast networks of matter threading through space like an enormous spiderweb. This discovery didn't just solve the missing matter mystery, it revealed that the universe is far more connected than we imagined. Galaxies aren't isolated islands floating in empty space. They're all linked together by these ghostly filaments of gas that channel matter and energy across cosmic distances. We're living inside a vast, interconnected web that spans the entire observable universe. That's all for today. I'll be covering more groundbreaking science that's changing our world. Subscribe to see them.